Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Police say the man accused of killing a McChesney Park woman has a laundry list of crimes in Winnebago County. Court records outline what led up to the murder. A pilot program sets out to help those with mental health problems during an emergency. First responders say the aid is much needed in the state line. And a local nonprofit for children gets into the spirit of Black History Month. Their friendly competition illustrates the importance of being inclusive. Good evening, I'm Muprhy. Eric is off tonight. We're learning more about the murder of a 72-year-old McChesney Park woman. Court documents state Ellen Marsh was strangled to death. Police say 41-year-old Shane Bauman broke into Marsh's old Harlem Road home to hide from officers Saturday. Investigators were searching for Bauman because he's accused of domestic battery. Deputies say Bauman made the murder scene look like a burglary before stealing Marsh's car. Police pinged Bauman's phone and took him into custody Sunday. Officers tracked the stolen car and discovered Marsh's body. Friends and neighbors of Ellen Marsh are still in shock over the death of the longtime McChesney Park resident. Ari Bruckman talked with them. They say she was a woman of faith and kindness.
Her eyes sparkled, and
Ellen Marsh is being remembered a sweet woman. She lived in this McChesney Park home since the 80s, watching neighbor Dylan Lingelbach grow up, even babysitting him and his sister.
Everyone that's met her has loved her. Honestly, I can't think of anything she wouldn't do for the people that she loves.
Ellen was recently elected a deacon at Third Presbyterian Church. Pastor Stephen Bowie tells me she was generous, recalling one story in particular that shows just that.
the ladies group would say that every month she came and she would lay out maybe dollar bills, $10, just what she could to support the work of what they were doing. I mean, she just always had something for somebody.
Nancy Justman worked closely at the church with Ellen. She says faith played a big role in her life.
She was very well read, and she loved to read the Bible. We had scripture. She enjoyed praying with us, and especially getting back to helping those in need.
For those who never knew her, Lingelbach wants his friend to be remembered as a great person.
She was so nice, she was so sweet, always caring, loving, always quick to have a conversation with you.
I did talk with Ellen's son. He understandably didn't want to talk on camera today, but says they are currently planning her funeral. Mimi?
Ari, thanks for that. Meanwhile, Marsh's suspected killer is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and home invasion. He also faces multiple charges in unrelated cases. Records show Shane Bauma was arrested Sunday on a warrant after failing to appear in court. He was out on furlough when Marsh was killed. Bauma's due back in court Monday. First responders rushed to a fire at a business on Rockford's southeast side. This happened around 12:30 this afternoon at Rockford Heat Treaters on American Road. Fire crews saw flames coming from the roof of the building. Firefighters quickly put out the fire. Investigators say the fire started in the HVAC system. No one was hurt. Employees have since returned to the building. A new collaboration aims to prevent individuals with mental health issues from winding up in jail. The Crisis Co-Response Team consists of members of law enforcement and counselors. Michelle Rave shows us how the program's already making progress in Winnebago County.
The program started after Thanksgiving, so as of January 29th, we have served 319 unique individuals.
Sending counselors out to certain calls with the Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies and Rockford Police is showing results. It's designed to bridge the gap between law enforcement and mental health patients.
These are giving the people that are having this mental health crisis an opportunity that will make a difference instead of just looking at it and saying, okay, we have a situation, then we respond with law enforcement.
The Crisis Co-Response Team is made up of 5 people.
They'll go through the reports and they'll find out if there's someone in that family or someone in that incident in particular that needed some type of mental health services. The detectives will then go out and make an attempt to contact that individual 3 times to try and find that person.
Chief Dan O'Shea says it's a way to steer people with mental health illnesses or drug addictions to the right resources instead of sending them to jail.
And try and keep them from becoming someone who falls in between the cracks or someone who the police have to deal with, and the police response generally is to arrest someone. And we're We don't want to arrest people who have mental health issues or behavioral crisis issues. We're trying to get away from that.
Regional President of Rosecrans, Carlene Cardosi, says in a short amount of time, they've realized how important this program is.
I think it shows the severity of what's going on in the community and how this program needs to grow. Because if we're capturing 319 in this short period of time with a small group of people who are incredibly dedicated, what could we do with a bigger, more robust team?
The hope is to be able to expand the program in the future, to bring on more people to help those outside the county as well. Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
A similar system's also being used for some Rockford Fire Department calls. The Mobile Integrate Health, or MIH program, provides support and resources to those with health issues. RFD paramedics and nurses with Swedish American Health reach out to residents who are frequently sent to the emergency room. Rockford Fire Chief Derek Bergston says the program's been successful, but there is room to improve in one category.
With our current Mobile Integrated Health program that we have been working with Swedes for almost 3 years now, we identified that most every patient that we have has some type of underlying mental health issue, whether it's depression or some other type of ailments that they're facing. So one thing that we were missing in our program was focusing on that mental health component.
For now, MIH and CCRT programs are separate. Chief Bergson hopes one day the two will merge. High school students in Ogle County will soon learn more about pursuing a career in the medical field. It's part of a new collaboration between Oregon High School and the U of I College of Medicine Rockford. For 6 weeks, 30 interested students will be introduced to a number of healthcare careers. They'll also take part in hands-on activities and hear from medical professionals. Funding for the program comes from the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois. Applications open this month. The program is slated to begin in April. A Poplar Grove dog park pitched by a local Eagle Scout is moving forward slowly. Village President Owen Costanza offered an update today. According to Costanza, the property across the street from Village Hall has been graded and grass planted. The village also had to buy additional land. Gaming revenue and donations are paying for the project. We first introduced you to Ian Nyberger back in 2019. He's the Eagle Scout behind the idea. Nyberger has collected money to pay for garbage cans, benches, and other items. The park is expected to open this spring once fences and equipment are installed. Members of the Rockford Boys and Girls Club show off their artistic side. Kids created works of art highlighting people they see as influential African Americans. It's part of U.S. Cellular's 4th annual Black History Month art contest. You're looking at the top 10 finalists. You can vote online for your favorite. The top 3 vote getters will win gift cards. To take part, find the story on mystateline.com. Well, it may not feel like it outside, but Northern Illinois' winter weather prognosticator says an early spring is on the way.
Willie looked skyward to the east, then behind to the ground, and stated clearly in Groundhogese, I definitely do not see a shadow in early spring. Yay!
Woodstock Willie was pulled from his wintry home early this morning. Groundhog Day celebrations have been held in Woodstock since 1993. That's when the movie Groundhog Day, starring Bill Murray, was filmed in the city. This year's celebrations took on a different look thanks to COVID. Everyone on stage, except Willie, wore masks. Viewing of the movie and an annual chili cook-off were also canceled. President Joe Biden's once again turning his focus to immigration. After the break, new policies could include reuniting families separated at the U.S.-Mexico border. Plus, the Illinois Board of Education's pushing controversial new rules. Coming up tonight at 6, leaders hope schools will practice culturally responsive teaching.
Oh, and after dealing with the potential for some more snow later this week and even more cold coming up for the weekend, it is definitely going to feel anything but spring-like. I'll have more on that coming up here in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Eric Wilson, Mimi Muprhy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
President Joe Biden's expected to sign a trio of executive orders to address immigration. The move looks to reverse many of the Trump administration's policies used to deter immigration, both legal and illegal. Our Washington correspondent Anna Warnicki has more as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
President Joe Biden focused on immigration again Tuesday, signing 3 executive orders aimed at reversing the previous administration's hardline policies. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the first order creates a task force designed to reunite families separated at the U.S.-Mexico border, chaired by the newly confirmed Secretary of Homeland Security.
The second executive order develops a strategy to address the root causes of migration across our borders and creates a humane asylum system.
Psaki says the third order requires agencies to promote immigrant integration and inclusion
and ensures that our legal immigration system operates fairly and efficiently.
President Biden has signed 9 executive orders on immigration in his first 2 weeks in office, in addition to sending an immigration bill to Congress. South Dakota Republican Mike Rounds says any immigration reform Congress considers needs to strengthen the border.
It's got to be one in which we have strong borders. We defend our borders.
I'm not real interested in some sort of widespread amnesty.
And Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy says it should be bipartisan.
We all ought to take our meds and sit down as adults and senators in good faith, as all senators are, and try to tackle this problem in a global way.
The bill President Biden proposed would create an 8-year pathway to citizenship for the 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the country. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
Now, your first warm weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, we had a little more cloud cover out there today compared to what we had yesterday, but still able to see some sunshine. A live look with the Mercy House Skytrack camera now looking to the south and southeast over downtown Rockford. We've still got a few clouds overhead, kind of those lower stratus clouds working in from north to south this evening, and we will continue to see that cloud cover clear out as we go through this evening. Had one kind of deck of clouds move southward, and now watching another one come in here from the north. We won't completely clear out, but we will get rid of the majority of the clouds here through the overnight tonight. And what that'll do is set the stage for 1, a colder night, and 2, the development of a little more fog compared to what we woke up to this morning. 27 in Rockford, 23 in Freeport, 25. Right now our temperature in Dixon, 28. Our weather watcher Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford checking in with Ben up in South Beloit, 29. Dry air too. Dew point temperature sits at 19. Relative humidity at 50% down in Sandy's Place in the Kirkland-Fairdale area. And she is checking in this evening with 28 degrees. Says, you know, for the most part, it was another beautiful day. And yeah, it was. Tomorrow will be our last kind of quiet day before we see things really change here by the end of the week. Down to 10. That's our overnight low tonight. With some of that fog developing, I would not be surprised if we get a few icy spots on some of the elevated roadways, bridges, and overpasses. So keep that in mind tomorrow morning. But high pressure building into the west with this ridge of high pressure in our jet stream will work in our direction during the day tomorrow. This is ahead of our next storm system. Area of low pressure now just pushing into the northwest. That is going to bring us more of that wintry kind of mess as we head into Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. High temperature tomorrow up near 30. Clouds are going to be on the increase and our wind does pick up late. So let's plan this all out because things are going to be changing in a big way here by the end of this week. Here we go with that fog. I think we've got a better potential for more of the ground fog going into tomorrow morning, but that should kind of burn off as we go through mid to late morning. We'll see some sunshine, but then that cloud cover increases once we get into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Now we are going to stay dry until about sunrise or maybe even a little before that on Thursday. That's when we start to pull in more moisture and we could see a mix or even some freezing rain, some light freezing rain develop Thursday morning. This doesn't look like it's going to be a prolonged event, at least as far as that freezing rain is concerned, before our temperatures might warm up just enough where we could see that mix in with some rain. Now, depending on the overall track of this low pressure system, we could see that quickly then transition over to some snow once we get into the afternoon, and that could continue through much of the afternoon and then even into the evening. I think, though, we'll start to see some of that kind kind of mix, kind of last a little bit into the afternoon before changing over to snow. Low pressure developing down to the southwest. This will rapidly strengthen as it moves pretty much right over north central Illinois. This will bring in a little bit of warmth, but on the back side of that, we really start to see those winds pick up. Winds will be rather gusty as we head into Thursday evening, and we're going to get a lot of cold air coming in behind that. So what that does for us is set the stage then for those temperatures to quickly drop Thursday night, 18 degrees on Friday, and then Mimi, we've got single-digit high temperatures next week and overnight lows that'll stay below 0.
Yikes. All right. Thanks, Candice.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
For the first time in Super Bowl history, a team will be playing on its home field. That team is, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So how much of an advantage will that give the Buccaneers? And should the NFL have done something to prevent this? I'll address the second part first. There's really nothing the NFL can do to prevent this from happening other than staging Super Bowls in cities that don't have NFL teams. That won't happen because then you're ruling out all the top cities in the country which have the best venues. And the Super Bowl cities are picked years in advance. Who would have predicted 3 or 4 years ago that the Buccaneers would be appearing in the Super Bowl? Any one of us would have laughed that notion off. It takes more than a year or two of planning to stage the Super Bowl, from hotel reservations to lining up security. So it's not like the NFL could have said last week when the Buccaneers beat the Packers, hey, let's move the Super Bowl to Los Angeles or New Orleans. As for how much of an advantage does the home field give the Buccaneers, I'd say not much. It's not going to be an overwhelmingly loud pro-Tampa Bay crowd. Even in a normal year, the majority of tickets go to corporate sponsors and VIPs. The two teams get what's left over for their fan bases. And this year, there will only be 25,000 fans in the seats, and a third of those will be healthcare workers. So I don't see the Buccaneers having much of a home field advantage other than Tom Brady can sleep in his own bed if he wants to. Well, the problem with golfers driving golf balls farther and farther is being addressed by the USGA and the Royal and Ancient Golf Club. Both governing bodies want to crack down on the latest technology golfers can use in terms of their equipment. They're proposing that pro golfers and elite amateur golfers will have to use more restrictive clubs and balls that can't be driven as far. But average golfers like you and I would still be allowed to use the latest advanced technology clubs, allowing us to drive the balls farther. I like the idea. Pro golfers drive the ball so far, golf courses can't keep expanding their distances forever. They're running out of room. Yet by allowing the average Joe golfer to use new technology, it still satisfies them while also satisfying the companies that manufacture the equipment. Sounds like a sound solution to me. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and more. We'll see some clearing take place for the overnight, which could lead to some fog tonight and some icy spots tomorrow morning. Clouds increase during the day tomorrow, high temperatures near 30. We've got a wintry mix coming in and could be some accumulating snowfall by Thursday afternoon. An impact to that commute, and then a lot of cold coming up by the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candice, and thanks for watching. We'll see you at 6.